Welcome to Modular UE5. So, excited to get your hands on Unreal Engine 5. More specifically, to begin building upon the amazingly feature-rich Lyra Framework. But right from the outset, your progress is impeded by an unexpected error. Well, despair no more. Today, we're pleased to bring you a fix to the Lyra illegally referencing assets error. An error that continues to cause frustration to many budding UE5 developers just itching to begin building upon Lyra. This is a proper fix, by the way, not one of the many common workarounds which are at best advised against. The good news is it's a very simple fix. Not only that, but you'll also gain a better understanding of how the Lyra content works together under the surface, leaving you better set up to move forward expanding upon Lyra. Before we get into it, I'd like to ask you kindly to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Not only does it help the channel immensely, but we're also planning a complete series demonstrating building upon Lyra using best practices and the latest and greatest technologies such as Lumen, Nanite, the new geometry modeling and scripting tools, and of course, MetaHumans and Megascans. Along the way, we'll be building a fully featured game that the community will decide the direction of various aspects of through a democratic voting process. So be sure to stay in the loop and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's get into this. So what you see on screen now is a brand new Lyra starter game project. I recommend that for the duration of this video, you follow along in a new project like we have here. You can follow along in your own project if you have one, or simply create an empty one. In either case, the fix itself is identical. However, if you already have any files in your project folder that rely upon Lyra code, the error will persist even though you've applied the fix. I'll try my best to explain more when we apply the fix and give you some pointers on how to overcome any further issues you may face if you have custom content already. Okay, so quickly pause the video if you need to get your project open, and when you're ready, hit play. Right, let's get started. In order to fix the issue in the correct way, you'll need to employ Unreal Engine's new modular game features. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to create a module. So to do that, let's go to the Edit menu and select Plugins. Now, before you create your module, before you create the plugin, click in the search bar in the Plugins window and type Modular. This should show up a number of modules. Just ensure that game features, modular gameplay, and modular gameplay actors are all checked. If you need to check any of them, and if necessary, pause the video now while you restart the Unreal Engine editor. Otherwise, let's move on. Okay, now that we're back in the editor and you've opened up the plugins window again, click the Add button in the top left of the plugins window. Select Game Feature Content Only. It's important to note if you're following along in your own project that already has C++ code and you would like to choose Game Feature with C++, that will work fine for you. If, however, you're following along in a project without existing C++ code, choose Content Only or plugin creation will fail and you'll receive an error. Once you've selected your game feature template, give it a name. I'll call mine Lyra Fix Module, just for the sake of this example. Leave the default location as your project's plugins game features folder and fill in any of the metadata as you see fit. When you're ready, click Done to create your plugin. You should now be in your new module's content folder in the content browser. If not, navigate to the plugins folder in the content browser and whatever the name of your module was. You'll see that your new module consists of only one file, a data asset file. We'll come back to this shortly when we get around to fixing the issue, but first we have to recreate the issue, so let's move on. Now we're going to attempt to use one of the assets from the Shooter Core module. A good starting point would be to duplicate one of the experience files. Creating a new experience will allow you to create a new game mode. For example, you could add a free-for-all mode to the current selection of Lyra game modes. To do this, you would most likely duplicate the Team Deathmatch experience, rename it accordingly, and move it into your game's folder structure to begin working on it. So let's do that. Go to the Plugins Shooter Core Experiences folder and duplicate the elimination experience and name it accordingly. I'm going to suffix FFA to mine for free-for-all. Now that that's done, copy the new experience to a folder in your module. Now there are tutorials out there that will tell you to leave your experience file inside the Shooter Core module. This is a common workaround, but it's not the best solution. The main reason being the Shooter Core module is a standard Epic Games module. And if and when you update your engine, it can, and sometimes most probably will, be overwritten. So you won't want to leave your work inside a plugin that belongs to Epic Games that's part of the standard engine, because it could easily be overwritten or deleted when the engine's updated. Now that we've moved the experience file to your module, double-click the file to open up an editor. Click the Save button in the top left corner of the editor window, and there you have it, the error. So now's a good time to explain what's actually going on here and why we received this error. So first, let's check, what does the error actually say? What it's basically saying is that our free-for-all experience file is illegally referencing assets from the Shooter Core module. Now at this point, you're probably wondering, well, didn't Epic Games say that all of the Lyra content was available and furthermore suitable for us to use as a base to build upon in our own project? And you're absolutely right, that is exactly what they said. So what's the problem then? Well, the problem isn't actually a problem. It's a feature. It's now the default way that Unreal Engine deals with asset referencing. You may even remember that earlier on, I said not to turn this feature off. This is one of the many great features that facilitate you as a solo developer or small development team flawlessly managing the development of complex projects. It's basically a protection that prevents you from directly referencing assets that are part of another plugin or module from within your project or within your module without first explicitly declaring a dependency on that external module that you're planning to use assets from. So let's apply the fix. Let's go back to our module's data asset file. If you don't still have it open, it's in the root folder of your module in the content browser. Navigate to the root folder of your module in the content browser and double-click on the data asset file to open it. Now click the Edit Plugin button, and in the Plugin Properties window that pops up, scroll all the way down to Dependencies. Under Dependencies, you'll see Plugins, and you'll see that there are no dependencies, so let's add one. Click on the little plus icon in the circle, and you should now see one array element where previously it said 0. Scroll further down now to show the rest of the page, and under Index 0 Name, click the drop-down box. Now in the search bar, begin typing Shooter Core and select it from the list when it shows up. Now click OK to close the Plugin Properties window. Now go back to your free-for-all experience editor window and click Save one more time. No error message. So there you have it. You're now set up to begin expanding upon and developing with all of the power and functionality offered by Unreal Engine 5 and the Lyra Framework. Now is the perfect time to make sure you've hit that subscribe button so you can get the most out of the channel and your Lyra-based development journey. If you have any questions, be sure to leave us a comment. If you found the content helpful in any way, please consider dropping us a like and sharing the video on your favorite platforms and forums. Also, if you'd like to show your appreciation in a different way, you can buy me a coffee or make Cash App or PayPal donations using the links provided below. Peace.